Okay, so let's talk about greens. You can get them in bunches like this or in bags. Do not buy the bags. They look easy and cheap, but don't do it because all the stems are ground up in there and you do not want these stems. They are gross. So you can get collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, red chard, Swiss chard, all that. I like collard greens. If I had to do a backup, turnip greens, they have a little bit more bite, but I would stick with the collard greens. Some people mix their greens. I don't do that either. And some people put cabbage in there. Do not do that. Even Southern people who do that, I don't understand. But collard greens. So I usually get 2 bunches for the 5 of us. So depend on how many people are eating. These will shrink down to almost nothing. So what you'll want to do is take it and tear the stem off. So I'm just tearing the stem off. I'll discard that and then rip this up into little pieces, put it into the colander. So we keep on doing this, tear the stem off, and then rip it into small pieces, put it in the colander. So after all of the stems have been picked out, you can see one bunch got me not even a whole bowl. So I'm only making 1 bunch today. It's not gonna make a lot, but if you had a second or a third bunch, it can pile up, that's fine. We're gonna smush it all down. Also notice we didn't rinse them off. We do that now. So you wanna go under the sink over here and just get them a really, really good rinse. Let the water run through it. Tossing around. In here. All right. So let those hang out there just a second. So before we put the colors into the pan, you need some sort of pig element. So if you've got an old piece of like ham hock or something, you can throw that in there. If you're going to use bacon, it needs to go in now. So cut the bacon into little pieces. Go ahead and start cooking the bacon. You want the bacon to get mostly cooked, crispy with all the bacon fat in there. Then add the greens. But I'm going to use bacon fat, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. Here, so these where we had rinsed them off, they're still nice and wet, and that's good. So we want that moisture in there. So I'm going to shove those down there, and as much as you have, just keep shoving them in the pan as much as possible. These are going to cook way down. All right, so we'll turn this on, and then I'm going to get a little scoop of that. Add that to that. We're gonna add a little bit of apple cider vinegar or red wine vinegar. Either one is a little bit sweet. So we're gonna take and splash that over the top. I probably used 2 tablespoons there, maybe-ish. And we want to use just a little bit of sugar. Not much. And finally, salt and pepper. So, I'll sprinkle of salt, sprinkle of pepper, and that's it. The only thing it needs now is a lot of time. So I'm gonna turn the heat up, and you'll see it start to wilt down. Once it wilts down, just put it on low and just let it sit. Stir it every once in a blue moon. This is a great night before thing to do. So you can get it wilted down, put the lid on it, stick it in the refrigerator, and get it out the next day when you actually want to have it. Heat it back up on the stove. It'll be great. So it's not very hard. It just needs time. So that's it. You can see that it has wilted a lot. You'd be tempted at this point to go, oh, we're good. But see how it's still bright green? That tells you they still have more time. We're actually looking for a dark gray, colorless mass, which sounds horrible, and probably every vitamin has been sucked out of it, but it also tastes good. So now that it's wilted down, I'm gonna put this on low and just let it sit for, you know, even as much as an hour would be fine.